Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Malik here with a quick demo of my plugin MobCatcher. This is version 2.2. If you've never seen anything about this plugin before, the main concept really is to be able to capture mobs and then respawn them via these creative mode eggs, but completely from survival mode. So a way to legitimately capture them, trade them. It brings kind of an economic aspect to the mobs, especially the persistent ones. So the main thing, actually the main things I'm going to be talking about in this video are 2.0 and more recent. So basically before 2.0, what was going to happen if I captured a yellow sheep, or actually any mob with any sort of extra data. So if it's color, whether it's sheared, whether it's a baby or not, all of that was lost because all the spawners can spawn is a default type mob. But since 2.0, I've been using a player database. So whenever you capture a mob, it saves the specific data about that mob in a data file, and when you spawn another sheep, or another, not specifically sheep, when you spawn another mob of that type, if you have data for that mob type, it's going to pull it, change that mob to those specifications, and then remove it from the file. And it was saved via the player name, which really wasn't a great way to do it. But now actually it's saved to the specific eggs. So whenever I mouse over or scroll over, I suppose, it's going to tell me what is specifically in this egg. So in this instance, the color of the sheep. If it's an adult, it's not going to specify, and if it's not sheared, it's not going to specify. But it would tell you those things as well. So when I spawn this back, I can know definitively that the next one is going to be a red sheep because it's saved not to the player name anymore, but to this specific egg, which is really nice for a couple of reasons, but mainly because now if I wanted to trade this specific colored sheep, I could throw it on the ground, or if you have another way to trade them, and the other player could pick it up, it would still have all of those same characteristics. So that's actually really nice. The other thing I added in this version is the iron golems. So there's actually not a spawn egg for iron golems that works, but this is just the default egg with that ID, and it will actually still spawn him back. I had to do a little different code there, but works essentially the same way. Added ocelot support as well. I think I have a cat somewhere. Where are you? Okay, well, if I find him, I'll go back to that. So the other thing I added was the snow golem here, which works the same way as the iron golem as far as the egg is concerned. So yeah, I really wanted to demonstrate the cat, but okay. Well, this will bring me to my next. What are you doing? Okay. Anyways, sign protection. Basically, in this area, so the radius of this sign, I'm not going to be able to capture anything. There's permissions nodes to override this, but as it is, nobody else except for the player who made the sign can capture in that area. So if I wanted to make a sign, I would type MobCatcher on the first line. The second line is just whatever you want to name the area, so it doesn't really matter, doesn't affect anything. And the third line is going to be the radius that you want. And depending on your config file settings, you may or may not be able to set the radius on your server. But I'm going to go ahead and put in 11 because I have player set enabled. Excuse me. So if I wanted to make another sign, MobCatcher area, And you can use the same name twice, it doesn't matter. If you are allowed to set the radius but you don't specify, it's just going to use the default. So 10 in this case, I think I changed it to. And also new to this update is a max radius. So I think the max radius is set to 12, I believe. So if I try to exceed that, it's going to throw a little error message and say using default. Actually, I guess what that should say is using max radius. So basically, if you go over the allowed radius, it's just going to use whatever the max was. So obviously I can't overlap signs with that other player over there, but I can overlap with my own signs. That doesn't really matter. And also I forget which update this was actually in, but there's a sign limit as well. So the limit by default is 3, so this is my 4th sign, and it's not going to let me make any more signs after that. Obviously, there's override permissions for just about everything. But yeah, and I'm out of redstone. Okay, so I guess that's time to end the video. Thank you guys for the support. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to either private message me or post on my Bukkit Dev page on my forum. Thanks for watching.